Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Shona Robison must think our heads zip up the back. She's come out and made a statement, shall we say, which is nothing of the sort. What she's trying to do is get out ahead of the argument to make it look as though she's not wrong, that she's in some way being good to people by increasing taxes. Because what she's saying is that she's urging Jeremy Hunt not to cut taxes in England. Now, she's saying it's because you need to have an investment. You need to use that money to invest from people. And that's not it, of course. That's not it at all, is it, Shona? No, what this is she's dead scared of a tax cut in England because it will make the gap between England and Scotland in taxes so massive that many people will then be tempted to move their tax affairs to England to save an absolute fortune, and who can blame them? But she can't say that. She can't come out and say, oh, my tax system is wrong, I've got to do something. So she said, don't cut the tax in England, invest in people, and then if you do a tax, then it's not an investment in people and I can cut you that way. I can say that you're not doing that. But we all know the truth. The truth is the woman is running scared. Let's have a look. So, Scotland's Finance Secretary has urged the UK Chancellor Jeremy Hunt not to cut taxes in his budget because she knows the truth. She knows the truth. If he takes 2p off and it doesn't get reflected in Scotland, then people in Scotland will just look at this massive difference, which could be, actually an immense difference, and go, what the hell is the point? You've already got a third of Scots wanting to leave Scotland. Half the young want to leave Scotland. This would be an impetus, wouldn't it? This would be a kick in the teeth. And then they'd go. And anyone who's educated out of Scotland, for university or something, would think of going back, will just go, no. Why should I do the same job for the same money and yet take home so much more less? Anyway, Scotland's Finance Secretary urged him not to cut the taxes. Shona Robison said the spring budget on Wednesday should prioritise investment in public services, not tax cuts. Well, that's not what you've done. You've increased tax and cut services. So for someone who's claiming that public services should be invested in, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you investing in public services? You've cut every public service. The only department that got an increase in real terms under Shona Robinson's budget was independence. It comes after Hunt said during the interviews with Broadcast on Sunday he wants Britain to move towards a lower tax economy. He says he feels it's a moral duty to leave as much money in people's pockets as possible, but any cuts in tax will have to be sustainable and affordable. Robinson told BBC Scotland Sunday show that along with bodies such as the International Monetary Fund and the Office for Budget Responsibility, she shares the view that the spring budget should prioritise investment in public services, not tax cuts. If you grow the economy, you get far more tax. That's the principle. Grow the economy, have a low tax economy, and you get a far bigger tax take. She said, of all these organisations have said the same, that tax cuts are unaffordable, and indeed it is the investment in public services that are needed. Well, that's, like I say, that's rich. She hasn't. She's cut services. So, it's a load of rubbish, isn't it? She says, I agree with that. And I really hope that Wednesday will see a change in the direction that Jeremy Hunt takes, particularly on investment in capital, so that we can invest in our key infrastructure. Things like affordable housing that you've cut, for example. So that those are the key priorities that I and others are calling on Jeremy Hunt to prioritise. Hang on a minute. Firstly, let's look at this. Number one, she cut 200 million off affordable housing. That's number one. Number two, she wants an investment because of the way the Barnett Consequentials work. So anything that's invested in England, they get an uplift on the Barnett Consequentials. If they give a tax cut in England and don't increase the investment, she gets no rise in Barnett Consequentials. That's why she's calling it. The big difference in the tax and, of course, an uplift next year in the Barnetts. That's it. She does not want people in England and Wales to be living a better life with better services, and if they did, it would only highlight how bad the services are in Scotland, because any uplift in the Barnett Consequentials wouldn't go to infrastructure. They'd go, oh, more money to spend on independence. She really, first of all, she is incredibly stupid, and second, she's really, really stupid if she thinks that we don't see through her. We know exactly what's going on in that tiny, tiny mind. Anyway, she also called for the 1.6 billion real terms cut to the Scottish Government's capital budget over the next 5 years to be reversed. Robison, who is Scotland's Deputy First Minister, also defended the Scottish Government's budget passed earlier this week, which actually cut all investment that she's now calling for. She said it had been really challenging because of real term cuts to funding come to Scotland and they'd proved difficult choices. And that, we know, is bullshit. Scotland this year had the most money ever from Westminster. A lot of it was due to things like HS2, the investments and things like that. It's the most money ever. And what have they done with it? They've pissed it away. They've got £1 billion, probably a £2 billion black hole when all is said and done. You can just keep throwing money at this Parliament and this government. It does nothing. Anyway, she said her priority had to be to protect frontline services with real terms cuts to every department. Scottish Conservative Shadow Finance Secretary Liz Smith said it is ridiculous of Shona Robison to be giving the UK Chancellor advice on growth when the SNP's dire record led her to savage tax and axe budget that meant Scots will be paying more to receive fewer and worse services. She said it's even more absurd for her to call for housing investment when she's just cut Scotland's housing budget by 26%, and Shelter Scotland say the SNP are gaslighting the public on the subject. See my last video. She showed no regret over failing to pass on rates relief money that other parts of the UK receive. Her tone-deaf defence of her disastrous budget, roundly condemned by everyone except her own party, shows no remorse for the SNP's appalling mismanagement. The UK government had been asked for comment, but there was no comment. Obviously, the Chancellor can't speak. He's in Purdah and will be so until about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon when he rises and delivers the budget in the House. Now, I will say on that, as a little aside, that the rumours of 2p cuts seem to be in national insurance. And if it is, the Tories are screwed. The Tories rely on the grey vote. And if you cut national insurance, that's doing precisely the square root of bugger all for pensioners, because pensioners don't pay national insurance. And it's him, Hunt, saying, oh, look, we've cut the basic rate or whatever. We've cut tax by 2%. No, you haven't. You've only cut tax to certain people by 2%. But those who don't pay national insurance, I don't, for example, they benefit nothing. It's a way of saying the headline of cutting tax without actually cutting tax for everyone. If he truly wants to cut tax, either he cuts income tax rate itself, which everyone pays if they're earning, or you increase the allowance, or maybe a bit of both. Increase the allowance, take a penny off income tax. That would be the best way. But he won't do that because he hasn't got the money. So he's got to look for a sneaky backdoor, slap in the face way, like so typical of this Tory Hunt, that he can't be up straightforward and in your face and say, look, this is what I'm doing. Oh no, he's going to be, oh look, I'm cutting 2% off that. Oh, all these people who are earning this, they'll get 2% off this, and it's bollocks. It's absolute bollocks, and that's why it's wrong. Anyway, I shall stop there. I shall come up and we shall finish off the video. There really is no one more stupid than Shona Robison, except your average SNP voter maybe. But in terms of within the party, she really is a lunatic. And she goes on and she tries to fool us. And she honestly thinks we're going to fall for the rubbish that pours out of that stupid mouth. I've got a really great idea. If I tell a tale and say this and that and the other, no one will ever figure it out. No sooner. My dog could figure it out. Because my dog is cleverer than you. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Bye.